Good morning, everybody. Joel Peters, the Planning Operations Trainee with the Rocky Mountain Type 1 team on the Devil's Knob Complex. I'm here to provide an operational briefing for Thursday, September 16th. We'll get started on the north in Branch 1, Division Foxtrot. Yesterday was a really good day. Folks noticed we got some more containment line on the map showing contained. So really good day out there yesterday on mopping up and patrolling that section. So that's really good news there up in our containment. Moving further out into Foxtrot over towards the Gulf Break. Had a little bit of activity in here yesterday of the fire moving around a little bit, not causing any issues and actually helping us out a little bit on this green island to fatten up some of this control line. So those pieces are looking really good. Any of the spots we had to the north of our containment line around the division break, those are all looking really good and have not had any issues in there as well. Moving further out into Gulf, just heavy patrol through there, making sure the fire's where we want it and we're not having any issues in there. There's a little bit of movement in there yesterday, just kind of slowly backing and burning the understory of the timber and not really causing any problems in there as far as containment. And pushing up into this part of Gulf, that stuff's looking really good, pretty well beefed up and ready to go if that piece of line were ever to be needed in the future. Out into Alpha, they've got a little bit more work in there still on some of their mastication and prep in there, and it's a little bit of falling left as well. So they're working hard to get that tied in case that's also needed in the future. A little bit of activity out on the northeastern portion of the fire yesterday, but no major events, just some more of the backing. It sounds like it backed down to the road in here to this containment, old containment line. So that's good. It kind of checked itself up in anticipation of potential moisture this weekend. So that's good to kind of keep it hung up in there for now. Our biggest concern between Alpha and moving down here shortly into Branch 2 into Bravo is tomorrow. Today definitely have some potential for some active burning conditions. Our big concern is the prefrontal passage before the rain starts of increased winds, drier air, and the like that could increase some of the fire behavior out in these locations over the next couple days before that system moves in. Yesterday, moving down into Branch 2, Division Bravo, some of these spots out here did move around a little bit some more yesterday. No major runs, like I said, but just kind of moving around out there a little bit. Not causing any problems for any of our lines or anything, but definitely putting up a little bit of smoke. Further down, the spots here right along the road, that stuff's definitely kind of slowly chunking along through there, not causing any issues. Really don't have a lot of options in there due to some of the cultural resources to do anything with that, but it's really not causing any problems right now. Very low fire behavior and has not been an issue. Biggest concern with that obviously is the Ash Valley. If we were to have any movement of that fire towards the west and impacting the valley, they've done a lot of work in here on the east side of the Ash Valley and just continue to keep beefing that up as much as possible for the future if this does decide to move around in there a little bit. The indirect piece, our primary line on the 28 road tying into the rough patch, that's more or less done. Once again, probably be working on that to beef it up a little bit more, make sure everything's ready to go and looking good. And continuation on some of their alternate line out here in Division Charlie as well. Division Charlie, another good day in there. Similar to moving up into Foxtrot, got some more containment on the map. So there's still a little work in there. They've got a few hot spots along, just inside the edge of the fire line, but a lot of patrol and mop up in there over the last several days. It's really allowed that to lock in. They kind of came through on their promise of here in the next shift or so here a couple days ago we'd be able to get some containment there, and they definitely followed through on that, which is great. So that's kind of wrapping up Smith, moving south to Big Hamlin and Branch 3. Same story on the western side, the chipping and working on some of the suppression repair activities over there as well. And then wrapping around, they got the north side of the slot from our kind of big day when we had a lot of fire behavior up to the north and through this spot. The whole north side of that's black on the map now for containment, and they anticipate the south side of it today. They had a little bit of heat in there yesterday and weren't quite ready to have that contained, so anticipated end of shift today that will be squared away. Moving further up into Hotel, patrolling and mopping on this last corner. There's a lot of heavier fuels in there from the old whiskey fire, so just a lot of work, slow going, to wrap that corner. Some of the stuff from when they did some aerial ignition a few days ago, it's still moving around a little bit in there, so they're doing a lot of patrol and making sure stuff's where it's at and not causing any issues. It is moving around a little bit in there, but isn't doing a whole heck of a lot. No issues or any kind of spots or movement to the north at all. So overall, Big Hamlin is looking really good. And yesterday, Air Attack was thankfully able to get up the fixed wing that we had and helped out some of the ground resources on helping them locate some smokes that were near the line or a little bit interior that were hard to see for ground resources. So they helped us out yesterday as well. So they'll be up this afternoon again to help our ground folks out. Another thing that's happening in a few locations out here with some of our repair group is they're working on a few very specific locations along some of the streams of where there might be some mechanical line that's very near those streams. So if we do get this anticipated rain, they're trying to hurry as fast as they can and do some kind of real quick primary focus rehab on some of those locations so we don't have as much sediment and the light going into the creeks and streams for some of the fish habitat. So they're kind of cranking that out as hard as they can in some very specific locations to prevent as much sedimentation as possible anyway for some of the creeks. So got the same complement of aviation. I kind of mentioned the Air Attack already that we'll have. We've got the 2 Type 1s and then the 2 Type 3s also. So hopefully today we'll have some good clean air over at least a portion of the fire and can utilize those assets as needed. Thank you.